Hi, my name is Debbie Sapp. I'm here to do a video about allegations. I guess that's what you want to call it. My son was sentenced 15 years for felonies, which were non-violent crimes, all under the influence of drugs. I can't see how his crime warrants that, especially when you can kill someone and get less time. On April 1st, 2013, my son was at Swanee Correctional Institute and was assaulted by 2 officers. Why? Because he was writing grievances for his property that was stolen and the fact that I was calling there. He was put in confinement after his beating. He was released on July 17th, 2017 from confinement, only to go back the very next day for talking to me on the phone and threatening staff, which what he said on the phone is nothing he's never said before. When he was beaten by the officers, he had stitches over his right eye. When he was put in confinement, I received a letter dated May 21st, 2013 from another inmate saying he was approached by 2 officers asking him a lot of questions and wanted to have this inmate beat my son up real good. This inmate was then transferred to another prison. Makes you wonder why. However, he did not beat up my son, but I still have the letter and his DC number. On July 19th, 2013, my son was taken to Baker Correctional Institute. He had cut his wrist while in confinement. The officers were going to his door, threatening him, making remarks, just harassment, plain and simple. From Baker, he went to Charlotte Institute on September 23rd, 2013. My son was leaving Charlotte, going to Dade, and before leaving, some of his property from Swanee showed up, all wet and mildewed, and there was a report made by a major and noted that it was wet and mildewed. On October the 8th, 2013, my son had gotten a disciplinary report. A nurse named Michael Garcia said that my son had spoken threats while she was doing her medical rounds. Found out there was no such person. It was supposedly a typo error. It turned out to be a woman named Gonzalez. On October 31st, 2013, the DR was dismissed due to contradicting testimony by the nurse and the officer. Sounds fishy to me. I'm reading all this, by the way, because I don't know how else to do it. My son was sent to Lake Correctional Institute, then to Butler. When he was leaving Butler, he was scheduled to go back to Swanee. I called everyone I knew, Department of Corrections, senators, governors, and so on. I really don't know what happened, but my son was on the bus, and an officer came out and said, change of plans. My son was red flagged from Swanee. On May 11th, 2014, while in Columbia Correction Institute, my son was assaulted by 3 inmates. Was taken to Jacksonville Memorial Hospital from being knocked out. Returning that evening, he was taken to confinement until an investigation was done. All his property for Columbia was stolen. He gave the name of the officers and wanted to press charges, but nothing was done. Now he's in Jefferson Correctional Institute, still fighting for his property. I called so many places with no help from no one. I have been told this is a good old boy state. What happens in Swanee stays in Swanee. The Department of Corrections can do what they please and no one wants to touch them. Why is it? Who's afraid of them? Why? I believe my son has suffered enough for the crime he has committed. After all, you can actually kill someone and get less time. I see it every day on the news. I'm reading the paper. I will not stop until I find someone who will listen and do something about all inmates getting treated unfairly. Inmate abuse happens every day. We, the people, do nothing to stop it. There has to be someone with power and the guts to stop all this. Hopefully someone will do the right thing. A full investigation should be done and heads need to roll. Yes, they are inmates, but a lot of them are nonviolent, just need help in the right direction, which prisons are really in lack of. Animals have more rights than they do, and it's not right. I don't even know how that even comes about. I don't know what else to say other than now I have my son in a place that's 55 and older. It's Zephyr Hills. He's in his 40s. He's in a safe place right now. I had a correction officer, actually was a classification officer by the name of Miss Rogers, who actually told me on the phone that she put a target on my son's back and it didn't matter where he went, it would be fulfilled. And he has been in quite a few institutions, and a lot of stuff has happened. He's been gassed, he's been beaten, he's been treated very poorly, fed maggots for dinner one night an empty tray, just being harassed and everything they do to downgrade them. I have also been told because he has so much time on his hands that he cannot do any schooling. He cannot go to a work camp because most of the work camps do not give him medication, and my son is a bipolar, a manic depressant. I have a whole file of his mental illness, and that's not even taken in consideration. So far, so good. He's been getting the medical he needs. He's been getting the mental health he needs, only because I've called and complained and done different things. I'm on a roll. I will not stop. It's just unfair. And, you know, when you're sentenced to a prison term, that prison term doesn't say on that paper, you can be beat, you can be gassed, you can be killed, you can be whatever they want to do to you, and it's okay. No, it's not okay. It's called justice. They say once you're in prison, the 8th Amendment doesn't count for you, but it's still a civil right thing. They don't have to be tortured. I just can't believe in the United States that we allow all this. It's, you know, I'm a voter, I'm a taxpayer. Taxes are taken out to feed and house